Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villa and welcome to episode 44 of Raise to Holte, our bid, of course, for world domination with Aston Villa. And today it is all about the Europa League and Chelsea as well. We're going to host Red Star, of course we beat them 3-0 in the first leg, so this should be a formality. And then we're going to host Chelsea in the league, the 8th. And so let's hope we can get a good result against them. Just the one game since last episode, it was the Premier League tie away to Fulham, and you can see it was a good solid 2-0 win on the road. Almeida and Marin with the goals. You can see match rating 61% possession, player ratings, everything there says we deserve to win, and we definitely did. Fulham are a poor side this season. I think they're bottom of the league. If we do have a quick glance at the league table, yeah, they are bottom of the league. You can see Southampton's in the Europa League. How did they get to? They must have won the Carabao Cup. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Oh, this one was won by Southampton. I just noticed that. So there we go. Southampton could pull a Wigan, Europe and the Championship. That would be an absolute disaster on your fixtures, wouldn't it? Anyway, I'm digressing here. We are currently in 4th place. We are currently inside the Champions League spots with 4 games to go, with 6 points off top, although Manchester City have played a game extra, but Liverpool there do have a game in hand. So it's the title race, I'm telling you guys, it's still on because we have a decent run in. And there's Chelsea in 8th, currently outside the European spots looking in, so they'll be desperate to get a result, won't they? Now, one other big piece of news since last episode is the youth intake. That has come and gone, and a few decent prospects here as well. Now, as ever, I do like to name these guys after you. If you want to have one of the Academy products named after you, just let me know in the comments or at AussieVillain on Twitter. And the link for my Twitter in the description. It's always in the description as well. Yeah, and we can look to get that done. The first up here is Will Williamson. Now, there's a part of me that wants to keep Willie Williamson just as a name because it's a fantastic name, but decent prospect of a striker there. We do have a lot of good striking prospects coming through. David Morris, I think he may have come through last year, but he's still here, only 16, and definitely one that can be renamed after you. Paul Williams, again, 16, may have come through last year. No, I think he was this year. Already 15 finishing, though, so he looks decent. Tyrell Gregory, a defender, love the determination. Marking and tackling's right there as well. Physicals will develop. He could be quite a good player for us as well. And the last one here, Edward Bennett, again, he may have come through last year's group, but again, good jumping reach, good target man there. So yeah, these guys are all available for you, and there's some in the under 23s as well that are coming through. You can see here we have Alpha Silla. Oh, he's not available. Here's the guy we signed. He is very, very good, isn't he? That's one for next season. But yeah, so Stuart Beadle's one. I just pushed him up because he needs to play at a higher standard. You can see the guys here anyway that are regens. If you want to have one of them after you, long story short, guys, let me know in the comments. But we have had our youth intake, so let me know what you think of that in the comments. But let's have a look at the team that we are sending out at home to protect a 3-0 lead. It's Gaz Mosley in goal. It's Godfrey Williams and Chambers across the back. Gumney, goal-scoring hero. Never thought we'd say that over the first leg. And Mabida, they provide the width. It's going to be Cochrane and McGinn in midfield. Jumpy, Borja and Brian up top. We're going to give Borja a game in this one, and this is why. Because he's just gone completely off form. You can see here, look at this. The last time he played a decent game, I would say, by a rating of 7 or above, was there. It was December the 18th, we're now March 10th. He has just been on horrid form, even when he has scored a goal, and he hasn't scored that many to be fair. He's only scored, 2 in the last 20 games. He's just really, really gone off the boil. So I'm hoping, in what's essentially a dead rubber, he will be able to put in a good performance here for us. So we can see the way they're lining up. It shouldn't really matter. I mean, a 3-0 lead is a 3-0 lead. 3 away goals. If we lose this, then I should just really quit, shouldn't I? What do we say to this? I'm always thinking it's going to be this first leg means nothing now. I think maybe with some passion. The first leg means nothing. We can't say that. Alright, so we'll just say it calmly. First leg means nothing now. Make sure you go out there and win it. That's motivated just about everybody. We won't bother doing another general team talk. We'll just do 2 individual ones there. And let's get out there. We do have Lee Hendry on the bench as well. I was almost going to start with him, but I figured McGinn wants game time as well. So we'll give McGinn the start. That'll keep him happy, and then we'll look to bring Lee Hendry on for the second half. Or maybe before. We'll see how the game's going. But yeah, this should be a relative formality. A little bit concerned. Brian is on a booking. He's a booking away from a suspension. So we've just got to trust him to be sensible here. Gumney with a decent pass out for Mobita. We know Mobita's good getting forward. Cross comes in. Brian Carlos! He only took 3.5 minutes and he's got his goal. 6th of the year, and I'm pretty sure they've all been in the Europa League as well. We'll have to check the competition top goal scoring charts because he must be up there. He had scored in every round. And then I think 2 rounds from the end of the group stage, he picked up a knock. It's a good finish too, isn't it? Well done, good stuff. Picked up a knock, so he missed 1 game. I think he missed the last 2 group games. And then, of course, he has played the game since, but I don't think he scored in the first leg, and I'm not sure if he scored against Anderlecht either. Here's a corner now for Junpi. Comes in. It's headed towards goal, and Borja over the top. We just need Borja to get himself back on the score sheet and get himself back onto a little bit of form here. Jumpy, this is all Villa, isn't it? Jumpy, it's there for Borja! That one's just past the post as well. He looks like a player lacking in confidence, doesn't he? That's just what he looks like. His average rating for the last 5 games is down to like a 6.6 or something. Yeah, he's just gone off form. Another corner, Jumpy knocks this one in. Oh, that's off the post. That was a crunching header for Callum Chambers. That was unlucky. The highlight's going to continue. Jumpy in for Borja. Borja couldn't catch a cold right now. Never mind trap a ball. Let's give it a demand more, perhaps. We're looking a little bit complacent. Let's see if... good header from Godfrey, isn't it? Can we hit them on the break here? Jumpy goes early. That should be Brian Carlos. It is. Can he get us cross in for Jumpy? And for Jumpy for Borja! That's what I meant to say, and he's done it. He's finally got back on the score sheet. Is it going to say how long it's been since he scored? I'll tell you how long it's been. About, I don't know. What do we say? It was at least 3 months, isn't it? So, good cross in from Brian Carlos. He's made 1, then he scored 1, and Borja, not even a man out of form, could miss that one. That is great stuff. So there we go, 2-0 up. It is sort of party time now, isn't it? We will look to bring on Lee Hendry for the second half. We may even look to bring on Omar Abdulrahman, and rest Jumpy. Is there anybody else we want to rest? I'm wondering, who else do we have on the bench there? Another corner comes in. This time it's Callum Chambers back for Cochrane off the bar. Borja's off the bar, and this time Callum Chambers knocks it in. 3rd time of asking for him. He's been unlucky twice there. Once a bit of a... Well, the first one was off the post as well, wasn't it? The last highlight. And this one, it looks like he's thudded another header. Oh, no, it wasn't him, it was Cochrane. We hit the post twice, and finally we got it to go just inside. And that is just great stuff. We're already done more than... Well, equaled what we did in the first leg. It's 3-0, it's not even half time, and we have absolutely played them off the park. Manchester United's winning. Anything else here of note? AC Milan look like they could be going to go out to Red Bull. That's a bit of a turn-up, but Red Bull's a really good team. They have so many wonder kids. Schalke's looking like they might beat Stoke, and it's looking as though Villarreal 2-0 up. You'd fancy already with an away goal there. It's a shame. Manchester United is the one we want to go out to 2-2 actually, so that's not done, is it? That's not done. Go on, Stuttgart. I think that Manchester United is the team for us to try and beat in this. What do we say? Very pleased. Get back out there, boys. We are going to make the change and bring Lee Hendry on for McGinn. It's not going to make McGinn happy, but to be honest. And then let's bring Abdul Rahman on for Junpi as well. We'll just rest them, keep the legs fresh. We'll put him as we'll go on support. We don't need 3 men running forward there. And let's see what we can do in the second half. Can we run up the score here? That is the big question, isn't it? The tie's dead. It's 6-0 in aggregate. That's not changing. So yeah, it is just a little bit sit back and enjoy. If you are enjoying this, please do hit thumbs up. It helps people find the channel, and I'm very grateful of that. Might be as good a time as Abdul Rahman, as good a time as any to sort of have a chat about Villa in real life. It's a bit disappointing, isn't it? I personally, my own personal opinion, I think we need to stick with Dean Smith. Let him. I mean, we saw against Brentford how good they were. That's his team, and I think if he can do that at Villa, then we'll all be very happy. But it's going to take time, isn't it? But it's just the thing that worries me a little bit. Is that he started off a little bit slow. Then we had those couple of, Derby and Middlesbrough. We started to get some really good wins. It just seems a little bit like Gumney's just showing off there. a little bit like we're going backwards now, which is a little bit annoying. But I do wonder maybe if there's some players that know that this is it for them, and they're sort of it's not the best penalty. It is a penalty, and Borja is going to get a chance for a second goal here. Yeah, I do wonder if some players realise their time is done, and it's just people dragging the chain a little bit. Borja, there we go, another one. 4-0 on the night, 7-0 in aggregate, and this is getting embarrassing for the Serbians. But yeah, that's my thought. I do think we need to stick with him though, and for what you read about sort of after this season when our parachute payments end, financial fair play is going to kick in pretty hard, I think, for us. So yeah, that's a little bit concerning as well. Potential knee injury for Abdul Rahman. Let's maybe not risk that. Let's bring we'll bring on Alina. I think can he play that far forward? He can do a job. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. I know some of you that watch are Villa fans, so Cochrane with the ball in. Oh, it's an absolute howler from the goalkeeper. It's still there. Lee Hendry. No, it's just have a shot, Lee. Yeah, we all have our thoughts. I know there's some people that think Smith should go. I just think you have Walsall. He was Walsall manager, right? When he got them playing really good football. Then he went and did it at Brentford. There's no reason why he wouldn't do it at Villa. He just needs a bit of time, I think. And Borja, back in goal scoring form, has now picked up an injury. I could take him off, but we're almost done. A bruised thigh. He is absolutely fine. So there it is, boys. That is 4-0. There should be a quarter-final draw coming up before the Chelsea game, so we'll make sure we watch that live. But that's how you win a European tie, isn't it? 7-0 in the last 16. We've absolutely dismantled Red Star Belgrade there. Passionate, well done, lads, and let's move on. So it looks like Manchester United did end up getting the job done. Leipzig have knocked out Milan. Ajax has knocked out Basel. Lyon are going to be dangerous as well. Rangers has taken out Benfica. That could be decent for us. Schalke has knocked out Stoke, and Villarreal has knocked out Valencia. So there we go. Was there any news? Let's have a look at the injury. It's just a bruised thigh. He's fine. Sent him off to the physio. Abdul Rahman, just a day or 3, so that's fine as well. And what was the goal drought in the end? Has come to an end. He'd gone to it 13 matches. It hadn't even gone to hours. It had just gone to matches. But that's good to see. I think, positive all around, isn't it? Wait right there, guys. We'll be back for Chelsea. Alright, here we go with the quarterfinal draw. Just before we get to that, there is an international game coming up, and I thought of interest to some of you. England under-21s, Brian Carlos and Gaz Mosley have been called up for that. And the England under-20s, we have got, where's the England under-20s go? There it is, Nick Roberts is in that squad as well. So it's good to see some of the kids named after you guys are getting international honours. Now, let's have a look at this draw. Who do we want? Well, who don't we want? We would rather avoid Manchester United. And if I'm honest, I'd love to see Manchester United draw RB Leipzig or Lyon. And I'd just about take anybody else other than that, I think. The dream, I think Rangers is the dream, isn't it? Sorry, Rangers fans, but they've got to be the weakest team left in this. We're first out of the hat, we're at home, which isn't ideal in the first leg, and we've got Manchester United. Oh, that is probably the worst draw we could have got. At home first leg as well. Lyon gets Schalke, and so it's RB Leipzig versus Rangers. That's not ideal. That's not ideal. That is pretty much as bad as it could have got, because we're at home in the first leg as well. So it's going to be a case of try and get a clean sheet at home and then see what we can do at Old Trafford. Anyway, guys, let's recover from that and we'll be back for Chelsea. Okay, welcome back. It is time to host Chelsea in the league, and this is huge. You see, Liverpool are playing Arsenal today as well, so we've got a nice little gap over Arsenal, although they do have a game in hand. So it could be a big day. We could either leap Liverpool or find ourselves with Arsenal continuing to ride our tailcoats. But let's hope we get a win and not have to worry about Arsenal. We want to look ahead, don't we? Not behind us. So it's Livakovic in goal. It's Mobida. It's Aya. It's Holgate and Breeze are back four. It's McGinn and Grealish in midfield. It's Nick Roberts. It's Almeida and Marin in behind the Labadovic. So we can see the way Chelsea's lining up. We're pretty much matching up man for man. Now, they have just sacked their manager. It was Didier Deschamps that was in charge. This is their first game without him, which is always annoying because you can never be completely sure how they're going to play. What do we want to say? Now, they did beat us last. They tend to beat us, don't they, Chelsea? Let's give the fans a performance. Or do we just go with the good old-fashioned, we've been on a good run lately, go out there and impress me. Let's impress me. Impress me, boys. Now, a few things to catch you up on as well, sort of in the ins and outs of the club. The first is that James Bree has decided that he is happy at Villa and doesn't want to leave for Manchester City, so that's a good thing. That kind of gets rid of that problem before it became a serious one. The other is we have an impending issue at left back because Mobita, he's a decent run from Nick Roberts early on. It's not the best ball for Marin though, is it? A little bit too much height on that one. Mobita is already complaining about first team football, and Matty Targett is now sort of in the processes of getting upset about not playing first team football. So you basically have two left backs that want to play every game. That obviously can't happen. Marin! Oh! Antonio Marin, 12th of the year. And what a ball in from Jack Grealish as well. He's back fit and firing as that cross showed. And that is what we like to see. Bree with the throw. Almeida lost the header, but Bree picks it up. First time, back post. And Marin makes no mistakes back where it came from. That is a really good header. For someone who's a dribbly, tricky winger, oh dear. That was a good header. Are we going to... Now, I did have a highlight the other day where this happened, and it was with Everton, I think, and then we went and scored again. So we scored like 2 goals in 30 seconds. So, it can happen, but 99% of the time it means it's going to go down the other end, doesn't it? We've nicked that with James Bree. Well done, son. Bree for Grealish. In for Nick Roberts in behind. Can we get a double? Can he find Marin again? It's Labadovic! It's just into the side netting. Let's give it a demand more, perhaps. So pretending... I'm trying to use too big of words. There's an issue coming at left back, so we might have to sell one of them. So I'm looking for your feedback. Mobita or Target. Mobita's better getting forward. Target is better defensively. We do have that young Norwegian kid we signed, Dale. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. I'll have to practice that if he's going to become a first teamer. It's a good block, and Almeida's away here. So I'm thinking one of those may have to go. There is interest already in Mobita. Here's Nick Roberts. If he gets the ball, it's got to be Lab! Gets in, boys. 7th of the year for the Lab, and that is 2-0 after 20 minutes against Chelsea. Oh, this is good stuff. Nick Roberts is looking like he's up for it today. It was a good block. I think that may have been Mobita, speaking of him not being good defensively. But Nick Roberts beat his man, and then really it had to be. Goalkeeping again, not ideal, was it? It wasn't the best goalkeeping we've seen, but not our problem. Not our problem. There was something else I wanted to mention as well, and I can't now remember what it was. Chelsea look absolutely horrid here, don't they? Here's Marin again, picks up after a poor touch. Grealish, what can he do? Oh, that was the other thing. You'll notice that McGinn is playing in the deep line playmaker role. That is because Tonali has gone off early with the Italy under-23s, I think it was. So he's international duty, missing this one, which is annoying. But it's again, McGinn's a good player, and it gives us a chance to play him. McGinn's is kind of like Nick Godfrey. Here's a chance for the Lab again. The Lab, great touch, good save though. McGinn's kind of like back up in every position in midfield, so he doesn't actually play as much as he should. So it's a good opportunity to give him some game. Oh, decent ball in again from Grealish, but the Chelsea defender got to that first. Speak of the devil, here is McGinn back for Bree, and that's the end of that highlight. And of course I brought Alina in as well, and Nick Roberts has picked up a knock. Tight Achilles, we don't want to risk that. What we might do then is we might bring Alina on for him, and we might move Grealish out to the right side. I think he can play as a winger, as he can do a job for us, can't he? I think that works. That's the best way to reshuffle that. We could bring Junpei on, but he just played against Red Star. I don't want to overplay him if I can help it. Almeida, oh, that's a cracking ball in, and the Lab has missed somewhat of a sit-up. I do feel a little bit as though we just need to go and get a third goal here if we can before half-time, because we're absolutely dominating the game right now. We don't want to give Chelsea a way to get back into it. Here we are in stoppage time. This is probably an end-of-half highlight, but McGinn across for Alina. He's got time, he's got space, and he's put it wide. Too much time and space, maybe. That should have been a goal, wasn't it? That was a really, really easy... Not easy, no, nothing's easy. And Liverpool is beating Arsenal. That is, in terms of making the Champions League next year, that's a good result for us because Arsenal are currently one of the teams behind us. What do we say to that? Do we say don't get complacent? Or do we just say we're happy with that? 2-0's a dangerous lead, isn't it? How the match ratings aren't bad. Let's say we're happy with it. The guys here that aren't playing well, we'll just tell them so. But yeah, I'm thinking that was a pretty good half. We just more of the same, please, boys. I instantly regret that. Maybe we should have said don't get complacent, but we have played well, and I think if we are playing well, it's important to tell them that. Let's give it a demand more, try and get rid of any potential complacency early in the half with that shout, and then we'll go from there. Alina's not having his... They should have scored, shouldn't he? Right on the stroke of half-time, and that would have killed off the game. We'll throw out some praise. Bothheim's on the bench. I wouldn't mind giving him some game time because he didn't play in the Europa League. Let me know what you think of the Europa League draw as well. It's just not ideal, is it? No, this is a bit of danger here for us. Lamar's there. Good first touch. Livakovic with a big save. Just keep it. If they're going to try and just go over our heads, we are playing with a high line right now. We might need to look to just drop that back a little bit. We'll give him some more praise. Almeida's not having his best game. Highlight starts here. Can we get to that? We can't. Almeida's been beaten to it by Kante. Come on, boys. Let's... I'm just getting a little nervous here, I'll be honest. Just starting to get the signs of... Can we get to that? We can. Not the best header from Mobita, though, is it? He had McGinn in there. He really needed to find a teammate with that. Oh, Livakovic again. Livakovic is back on form. He had a season and a half of not peak Livakovic, but he is back now. He is really playing well lately and keeping us in games again. Oh, and look at that. Exhibit A, ladies and gentlemen. That is a great claim from the corner. Is this going to be a continuing highlight, or is that going to be it? We just wanted to see Livakovic pluck it from the air. That looks like what it was. Elena is not playing well. Do we want to make other changes here? I don't want to sub the sub in Elena. I'm wondering if we take Almeida off and maybe just go a little bit more defensive in midfield. Marin's done well to win that, because this is it's just starting to look a little bit ominous, isn't it? Come on, boys, let's get a block in here. Can we get to that? We can't. I'm going to make changes after this highlight. We're going to be more compact in midfield because they're getting this a little bit too easily, and there's the goal. That had been coming. I just wonder that Alina missed right before half time, if that's going to come back and haunt us. We'll keep the high line, but we just want to be more compact in there. We don't need to see that again. We are. We're going to take Almeida off. We're going to drop Harry Cochrane. I needed to not do it from this screen though, didn't I? Just let it happen and then we'll go in here. We'll drop Harry Cochrane back in. I don't know if we want to go full defensive. We might just go sort of a flat 3 in midfield there. I was tempted to maybe bring on Chambers and push AR forward. But we won't do that. We'll put... What do we want to do here? Just maybe... let's maybe switch them around. Then we'll send McGinn box to box. I think I like that. Alright. They have switched their formation around a little bit there, haven't they? Are they? They are no longer playing. What are they doing? They're not playing wing backs, so we don't need these guys man marking centre backs. So we'll get rid of that. Can that tell us how they're playing? Oh no, they do. No, they've gone weird. They've gone full weird on their formation. Do they have? I think they have 2 centre backs or 3 centre backs. They have 3 centre backs and okay. So what we might look to do then, exploit the flanks. If they don't have any fullbacks, we can easily get in behind them, and we have wingers out there as well. So that should work okay. Arsenal's equalised against Liverpool. Now, if we can hang on and win here, that's actually almost a perfect result, because that way they'll both drop points, won't they? Here's Grealish playing as a winger. Decent ball across from Marin. It's well tracked back from, I think that was Will Hughes that's at their club. Good header from Holgate there. This is just getting nervy now. We were so good in the first half, and I shouldn't have said I should have just said don't get complacent or something along those lines at half time. I don't think I should have praised them. Ball comes in. Mabita's there again. Cochrane heads clear. All right, can we launch a counter attack on the back of that? Here goes Marin. in for McGinn. We've got men forward. He finds Grealish. Can Grealish get ball to the back post? It's a tap in if he can. Marin! 13th. Lucky 13 for Antonio Marin. His second of the game. I think he opened the scoring this game, didn't he? Almost positive he did. That should kill that game off right now. We'll give it a praise. We'll give him some praise. Good counter-attacking goal that one, wasn't it? And ball to the back post. And Marin again. He is just so... He could get... No, there's not that many games left. But he could get 20 goals this season. Another couple of good games. If he played in the Europa League, because I think he just plays in the league, 13 goals from a winger just in the league alone, because I mean that's essentially all he's playing, is a really, really good return. And it was nervy in that second half, but we deserve that. We really do. A double for... It's a Croatian special, isn't it? 2 from Marin, 1 from the lab. And we'll give it a... Well done, boys. Well done, don't get complacent. I like that. And with the draw in the other game, that is actually quite a good result. It puts us 3 points off top, equal on points with Liverpool, even though they have a game in hand. So worst case scenario, we're going to be 3 points behind them. But look at this, the top 4 separated by 3 points. That's a title race, isn't it? It is definitely squeaky bum time. And the other good news from this, now they do both have games in hand, but 6 points and 7 points if they win those. And they may even, no, there's some other teams down here, so they may even be playing each other. With only 7 games to go, when we have a decent run in, I think West Ham is the only other team in the top half of the table that we have in these last 7 games. It's looking decent for Champions League next year, guys. It really, really is. Nick Roberts, it's just a day or 3, so that's okay. We fixed him up in time. Berg, who's he looking at? He's looking at AR for his Norway squad. I can recommend him, mate. He's been doing good. That is it for today, though, guys. We will be back tomorrow. Not tomorrow. We will be back on Friday for the Europa League first round leg against Manchester United at home. That is really tough. And then we'll go to Wolverhampton and hopefully put them away in the derby as well. If you have enjoyed that, though, guys, please do hit thumbs up. 7 goals that episode. That was a good one, wasn't it? And if you are new, welcome. And please do subscribe. Ring the bell so you see when I upload new videos. But yeah, it's a lot to look forward to. Let me know, should we go for it against Manchester United in the home leg, or do we need to... I think we just need to avoid away goals where we can. If I'm honest, because we can score a goal. It's just about trying to limit their away goals. Let me know too what you think at left back, Mobida or Target. It's looking increasingly as though we can't keep them both happy. But until Friday, guys, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.